Tonight on Military Matters, Fort Drum law enforcement took a plunge to promote a program that helps with the stressors of the job. Directorate of Emergency Services personnel jumped into Remington Pond today for the third annual Polar Plunge. The team building event promotes the Officer Wellness and Peer Support Program, which provides all DES members, including first responders, physical security, dispatch, and criminal records personnel, with easy access to resources, services, and education on all aspects of wellness.